Good morning. There's a story of a saint who was so holy, so loving, so compassionate, so gentle, so humble that everyone around him was filled with wonder and joy and hope in his presence. And so was God and the angels. And as they gathered in their heaven, God said, "That saint is so beautiful. I want to reward that saint and give him whatever he requests." And so God sent an angel down to meet with the saint and to put this proposal to him. And the angel connected with the saint and described the purpose, his mission, and what God had said. And then the saint said, "No, look, I don't need anything. You don't need anything from me. Find someone else who needs help and give them a request. But I'm okay. I don't need anything." And the angel persists and said, "Look, you have to understand it's my mission. I can't go back until I've completed my mission, and the request is for you and you alone." So in the end, the saint relented and said, "Look, I'll tell you what. Let good be done through me. All manner of good that God would bestow on people. All sorts of blessing, healing, whatever. But I don't know about it at all." So the angel thought for a moment and said, "Okay, how about wherever your shadow falls, when it's behind you and you can't see, there will be healing and blessing on those on whom it falls." Okay. So from then on, the saint went about his work and his life. And whenever his shadow was behind him, fell on someone who was sick or someone who was grieving or in need, or there was blessing. But no one knew that it was through the saint. They never connected what was happening with him, and he never knew about it. It was God's presence. This is a story that has always fascinated me, because I think it demonstrates the deep humility of holiness, but also something about the presence of God. This deep and profound presence of God that is healing and life-giving, that is renewing and restoring, is always filtered or mediated through something or someone else. Or often it's seen in retrospect. We never see it head on and face to face, or mostly we don't. It's too bright, too magnificent. Like looking at the sun, its blinding brilliance would be too much to see the face of God, the true holiness of God. And so we see it filtered, mediated, reflected. But it's always there, all around us, in the deep and profound moments. I remember the moments when I first held my children. Our daughter, who is our eldest, when I first held her, so small and vulnerable and beautiful. I was overwhelmed and overawed and fully present in this moment to experience this child that I had something to do with. And now I was partly responsible for, to nurture and care for. It was beautiful and wondrous. And likewise, a couple of years later with our son, to hold him and to think of this person, this human being and what he would become. These moments I was fully immersed in the wonder and the joy and in the moment. And it was only later, as I thought back on this experience, that I realised in some profound way the presence of God was there. In the tingling of the nerves, of the wonder, of the joy, of the inescapable awe. God was present in some mysterious, profound way in the formation of this child in Susan's womb. Likewise, in the garden at the moment, our garden is filled with flowers in the front yard, but orchids in the back. Dad grows orchids, and he's given us many, and they keep dividing, and our yard is now filled at this moment with spectacular colours of these orchids, from some deep reds and deep purples, mauves and pinks and gold or yellows and some reds and white. Masses of them. Just beautiful. And you just see them, and in the moment as you look at them and wonder, they're just beautiful. And there's a presence, a God presence in this, that's realised in retrospect, in the beauty and the colour, just the extravagant generosity of this colour and beauty. Some years ago, or a couple of years ago, after COVID, Susan and I wanted to get away, and Nico was fairly dependent on us, and there was nowhere to put him and no one to mind him, so we found a dog-friendly place down on Jarvis Bay in Culburra. And we went down, and the first night, Susan got up 5:30 because Nico needed to go outside. She'd heard him, and she comes running in and rouses me and says, "Grab your camera and get out, you want to see this." And I jumped up, as soon as the mention of camera, I opened the blind, and wow, the sunrise over the water and the headland in the background. I quickly got dressed and grabbed my camera and tripod, and out we went. And on the back veranda, looking out over the beach to the headland, with the clouds in the sky, and there were blues from deep blue to light blue, brilliant reds and oranges through to golden colours. It was just beautiful. It was transfixing. And I took photos, but at every moment as the clouds moved and the sun rose, it changed, and the reflections off the water were different. It was just beautiful. And I was caught up in the moment. And it was only later I reflected and thought, wow, the presence of God in this place. Awe-inspiring, nerve-tingling beauty. Or when we were at Uluru, and sunrise over Uluru with the sun rising and this spectacular rock in the foreground. Or Catajuda out to the left, and the sun reflecting off the red rock and rising in its absolute beauty. Just mesmerising. And you could feel this presence. And likewise when we did the sunset version, from a different angle, looking at the sun setting over Catajuda and Uluru. Spectacular. And this presence of God that you can only describe as awe and wonder, and this sense, this presence. God is revealed in these ways, in this beauty. Filtered and mysterious and wondrous. In the moments when we're with people and we're sharing the deep pain of life. And I know through some of the experiences, the death or the illness and death of Mum, and other friends and people I've known, or the moments that are just critical and difficult, where the prayers you pray are often just deep yearnings of the heart, inarticulate, just groans or yearnings or feelings. And you don't know what to do, and in the silence you wonder where God is. And in retrospect you look back and you see how you were held in this mysterious way, through the love of people and those around you, but in this presence that is just there and somehow provides a hope, if you allow yourself to be open to it, to experience it, and to trust it. And there's an ancient story from the Hebrew people again, and they're around, they're walking and journeying towards this new land. But Moses is encountering God, and in the tent, the tabernacle, and he's meeting God and he's talking with God. And he's worried about who will lead the people, who will be with him as he leads the people into this new land. God, will you go with us? Because there's just been this turmoil where he's been up on the mountain and they built this golden calf and betrayed God. And his brother Aaron has been part of that. God, will you abandon us? Will you be with us? God says, of course I'm with you. I know you and I trust you, and I'll be with you. So how will I know this? How will I know? What is there to tell me? You're going to have to trust me. And this conversation goes on, and then Moses says to him, can I see your glory? Will you reveal your glory to me? Moses wants to go deeper, to see and to know and understand God in a more deep and profound way, to get into the heart and being of God. And God says, you can't, Moses. We've been through this on the mountain where there's a burning bush, and you wanted to know my name and know who I am, and you wanted to define me, and I said, you can't. You can just trust me and know me as we go. I am who I am. I will be who I'll be. But Moses wants to see the glory of God. And God says, okay, look, I'll tell you what I'll do. You can't see me face to face. It's too bright, it's too brilliant. Like looking at the sun, and it's burning bright. You can't. It's blinding. It's painful. It's too much. But I'll tell you what I'll do. If you sit on this rock, I will pass by. I'll put my hand over your face so you can't see me. But when I pass by, I will let you see the back of me. And some renderings of the story are, you can see where I've been. You can see the afterglow, if you like. You can see me where I've been, or the back of me. And that will be enough. And I think this is the truth about our experience of God. It's we don't see face to face. It's too much. We see the afterglow. We see the presence, the luminous presence in the world, in being. When we're attuned and open, when our eyes are open to seeing, when our heart is listening, and in our being we are willing to hear and see and feel the presence, in the beauty and the awe and the wonder, in the love of other people that hold us, in the licking of the dog, in the beauty of the garden, in the sunrise and the sunset, in the music that stirs us, in the stories that touch our story and give us hope and life and illumination, in the beautiful texts of wisdom that speak to our heart, in all the ways that we encounter deep and profound meaning and awe and wonder. These are sacred and holy. In the moments we see children, our new granddaughter is so beautiful and vulnerable and wonderful. And God is present in this, in some profound, mysterious way. And in this presence of God, this feeling, this knowing the presence of God, we can know that we are known and we are loved. That we are known and we are loved. And that's enough. This God who holds everything, who is the heart of everything, who is the heart of profound love, knows us and loves us infinitely and profoundly. This is love. This is God. Amen.